Its own launch site is far, far away in South America's French Guiana. Now, several new spaceports from Scotland to Norway are racing to deliver the continent's first orbital launch. But there's still some way to go. And competing for pole position, S-Range is also constructing a new launch pad and readying for flights within 2 years.
To have the capacity within continental Europe to launch rockets that take satellites out into orbit. And that's strategically...
I'm gonna stop it right there, giving all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachahakwatash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakariim, Shah Yasharallah, that's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Now the Lord is, you know, he really blessed this man, Esau, you know, with the technology. I'm just sitting here checking this out. This comes from the BBC. This is Inside Europe Space Race. Oh, actually, yeah, the BBC News. So, you know, Esau is up to many things in the heavens, in the firmament. And we know the Lord has limited his traveling power. You know, Esau can get them satellites out there for various reasons, you know. Number one, to fulfill prophecy, you know, but there's a point that he can't cross, you know, but he's steadily trying to go further and further, as you're going to see, you know, with this technology. And a lot of his launching technology is old. It's old and it's outdated. Now, granted, it's a level, because the Lord is he tell you, for the same reason have I built Pharaoh up. So you Edomites has been built on a high capacity, man. You know, it's very, you know, interesting, man. We watch. I love watching what Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai gave you, especially when it comes to like air travel and what's happening in space. You know, it's very, very interesting. But this devil, he won't give anything, you know, back to the Heavenly Father. This is Ezekiel 28, verse 3, KJV. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee, because the Lord is, you know, he's blessed this man, NLT. You regard yourself as wiser than Daniel and think no secret is hidden from you. So yes, you've been put on a level. you know what I'm saying? You Edomites, but it was the fulfilled prophecy. You know, and this is amazing, but it's time for you to come down. There should be no more place found in heaven. You know, so all this technology, you know, that this man has, you know, it's about to go down. This is Psalms 19, verse 1. This is a point I want to get to in this video. It's going to be based on this scripture here. It says, the heavens declare the glory of Yahweh, and the firmament shows its handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. And that's being done with this internet system that the Lord gave to Esau to put up there in space, which is basically above the clouds, you know. And with this system, it transmits these videos. The most important thing that's on the internet right now is this knowledge and this understanding, starting with our apostles of Great Millstone on down. This is the most important thing that these satellites is carrying, this message day in and day out. So once the prophecy is fulfilled, when the Lord said this gospel has reached to the ends of the earth, then shall the end come. These are more signs that we are at the end, because you're going to hear him make a statement how many more satellites they want to put up there. But we don't need them satellites anymore. The satellites has done the heavy lifting. The great awakening has happened. The Lord is elect, is woke. They in the earth. Therefore, the earth is crumbling. We at the end time prophecies. The mark of the beast, MOTB, World War III, UFOs are in the air. You know, now the nuclear bombs. Russia just used a super weapon on Ukraine. Supposedly it was intercepted, you know, but these bombs, these mega bombs, these hypersonic bombs, these ICBMs are about to be used in this third world war. All because these satellites, the message has been carried. You know, this is a very important time in history. You know, these Edomites, they don't know these scientists. They're just, they're being handled by the spirit. They on go mode. So they looking for the next decade and then the advancement of the technology. These scientists are doing their job. They don't know that we're at the end of a kingdom, of an empire. You know, and them keeping the satellites up, you know, that's the spirit of the Lord. And they got something to do with it. And they got no clue.
Really, really important.
Fueled by growing demand for internet communications and mapping, the number of satellites is skyrocketing. And that's seeing more commercial companies shoot for the stars.
The number of satellites to be used by humanity is increasing rapidly. We will go from, well, around 10,000 satellites we have right now to 50,000 satellites.
You see? So let's go with that number. You got the 10,000 satellites that's carrying the message of the kingdom. They want to advance it to 40, 50. Because they just thinking about their kingdom and their rulership. And who gonna get up there first, Europe or America or Canada. This is what they're doing their job. But not knowing those 10,000, 12,000 satellites has done their job. You know, these feed horns, the message has been carried, the unicorn. You know, the message has been carried. It's a beautiful thing how the Lord has reversed their technology. And everything is going to flip on them, man. The MOTB, all this going to flip on them. But these satellites, you know, which are really, they started out as spy lights to spy on people and, you know, things like that. Same thing with this cell phone. But the Lord has used it to carry the message. Look at the cell phone. Look how we're using the cell phone now to video record. You go live. This is no longer a telephone. The Lord has advanced this telephone into a camera to actually work with the satellites. This is amazing. This is amazing. And you think that this is not going to be recorded within the scriptures? You know, this type of power, this type of force, it's not going to be recorded in the scriptures. You getting me, man? This is, once again, Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of Yahweh, and the firmament shows his handiwork. There's handiwork up there, that sun, that moon, them stars, those other planets. And part of his handiwork is these satellites too. All this technology belonged to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It was just lent to you, Edomites. It says, day unto day uttereth speech. It's the different languages those satellites carry. And night unto night, you get up 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. You see a lesson was just uploaded. Lessons are being uploaded constantly. That's why, you know, YouTube is having a problem with getting all the lessons off. The Lord got the spirit so hot on brothers. There's just so many lessons going out because we closer to the end. So day unto day, night unto night. You got the east. They on a different time slot. Then you got the west. And these satellites are constantly, this is the labor of the unicorn. They're constantly doing the heavy lifting. It says, and night unto night showeth knowledge. And that's how we got our advancement. We learned through this internet. No, we haven't spent the day in front of our apostles, our bishops or elders of Great Millstone. Yeah. This was all done through these satellites. Now, there's other reasons the Lord got them satellites up there for as well. But the main message is being carried. which is this gospel here. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth. And when you look at those, now when he said 10,000, I don't know if he's just speaking about Europe's satellites, because everybody got claimed. It's got to be more than just 10,000 satellites. You know, let me see something here. Well, let's do a quick search, because now I'm curious. How many satellites are orbiting planet Earth? Okay. Let's go to maybe later. Let's go to, according to European Space Agency, ESA, tracking by the early 2025, approximately 15,000, artificial satellites orbit Earth. Active and inactive combined. And counting, most of them are in low Earth orbit, a region defined by NASA as altitude of 2,000 kilograms or 1,200 miles or less above Earth's surface. Okay, so we got about 15,000 satellites are circling planet Earth at this time. And this is, cancel that. This is some images. This is the line that was spoken about. Now, all these might not be satellites. This is just all the junk. Because remember, some of these satellites are inactive, but they just float out there. And an amazing part is that the operation of these satellites come from the sun. So they're solar powered. You know, but due to these satellites, the line, let me get another one. Their line is going out. The knowledge of the gospel of the kingdom of heaven has been preached on a higher, faster level when it hit the YouTube. Ain't that amazing? Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. This is all the handiwork of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. So you think the Lord gonna miss this? You don't think that this is prophecy, man? You know, it says, once again, Songs, I'm going to make this quick. Psalms 19, verse 3, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. The line is going out through all the earth, and the words to the end of the world. So this gospel has reached the end. And them have he set a tabernacle for the sun, because what these satellites do, they harness the energy. The tabernacle is a makeshift house, like a shed, you know. So they grab the sun's energy, the source. This is how it's powered, you know, and they move, you know, and they remain out there. I don't know the lifespan. Let me see something. I don't know the lifespan. I wonder now of one of these, what would be the lifespan of one of these satellites? All right. Let me see here. What is the lifespan of a satellite? Let's see. That's an image. It says space launches a satellite as an incredibly expensive and few expensive endeavor. There are typically between 30 to 40 launches a year, most done by commercial companies. Moreover, the lifespan on a satellite is typically 15 years. Okay? So once they get it out there, they got about 15 operational years. So this gospel has been going out on the internet since 2027. So we almost approaching the 20-year mark So some of these satellites was freshly launched out when the gospel first hit YouTube. Picture that. Wow. It says typically 15 years before they have to be replaced. Ain't that something? So they've done their job. It says, in them have he set a tabernacle for the sun. So the Lord caught everything, man, with this gospel here. This is Obadiah 1 verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. So, these Edomites, they're very proudful, especially when you giving it back to yourself and to your scientists. Look what we've done. You're not including the scriptures. You're not including Yahweh or his son Yahweh Shah, and you definitely not going to give it to prophecy. So the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, going back to his ancient world, all the way up to the day with these skyscrapers, which started in Chicago. Now they all over the world. I think the tallest skyscrapers in Dubai, and they were mimicking the Eiffel Towers. This is how this man rolls. He has that high attitude, that Tower of Babel attitude. Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart. So this man saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So Esau is very puffed up at this time. You see, the God said they want to get about 60,000 satellites out there. It's already 15, so they want to triple it. Though thou exhort thyself as the eagle, and the eagle is an emblem, a mascot. They sort of say that the Edomites carried around all the way since the Greeks. The Greeks carried it, the Romans, and you Americans, you carry it. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, which are these satellites, you set thy nest. This is the word set.
Strong's H7760. Soon. And second entry, seem.
The Hebrew is shawam, which is to put or to place. So you place these satellites up there. You place your space station up there. The Lord is giving you that technology, and they remain up there for 15 years. Doing their job. And the Lord has used you to set these satellites up there for a reason. So it says, though I set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And you playing around in these heavens like this is a sign that we at the end, a sign of your downfall. That's all you Edomites, all around the world. Doesn't matter if you in Canada, where the main power structure is coming from the beast, which is the EU and NATO, and the whore that sits on it, which is America. And Russia is included because Russia has a space station. China has one, and I know the US. Could be more. They got a lot of top secret things that's happening out there with the government. But it's real interesting how the Lord is working this, man. See, we know what's going on. It's like it just got the damn dry throat. We know what's going on. So when we sit back and we look at these, these programs like this, we put the scriptures and the Holy Spirit is working. This thing is amazing, man. What the Lord is doing, what the Lord has done. Even the end, how this thing is going to end. This is truly amazing.
Maybe 10 years' time.
Back at the S-Range launch pad, liftoff is fast approaching for the German Matthias rocket. And for the final steps, powerful motors are put in place. You can't see it from here, but inside that tower is the rocket, and it's standing by, ready for launch. Inside the control room, the team are preparing for liftoff.
Those two top screens are inside the conical shape, It takes a week to prepare the rocket motors and then, of course, prepare the actual payload.
However, it turns out the launch is postponed. High up in the stratosphere, it's too windy.
That showed the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The Lord can just use the wind, right? Just to blow them rockets, man. This is amazing. Because you need perfect weather before you do a launch. So the Lord can cause some catastrophic event and just shut the whole system down, man. So I tell you that this man's gonna be dealt with in 1 hour, man. You know, he's bit off more than he can chew. So for this same cause that the Lord raised you up, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushua can show how powerful he really is. That's it on that, man. Just, you know, watching this, very interested with these devils out here in this space and what they're doing. They're very, very, very proudful, giving all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom.